Play fair and be kind.
I am not cheating.
I don't think you'd let me get away with that, would you?
I never cheat.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. And as you can see, I'm not wearing a ton of makeup because it's yucky, rainy weather outside. And when it gets like that, I tend to have a lot of pain. So I just wasn't feeling very good when I got up today. The medicine I took is helping a little. I have a lot of sinus pressure and pain and stuff in my head right now. And so my eyes were swollen. I don't know if you can tell. My daughter had an early morning practice. I just noticed I need to give the spelling test back from Friday. So I thought I'd just show you my outfit. I've worn this once before. It's one of my favorites. And it's supposed to be like 50 degrees today. So not super cold. And I didn't want to wear anything real warm because I would get too hot and then feel grosser. So I'll back up and show you what I'm wearing. And then I'll show you what we've been doing today. Because we started a new chapter in Go Math. And I'm actually kind of excited about it because it's measurement, and measurement can be really fun. So I'll show you what we did, and I'll show you a new game that I made based on a Mystic Carbo game. I really like her, obviously, so I'll show you that too. Let me back up and show you what I'm wearing, and then we'll get to what we did. So I'm not really sure if you can see very much way back there, but I'm wearing, sorry, I'm kind of sniffly. I'm wearing like a dark blue, like navy tank, and this flowery shirt, and the jewelry, as you can see, and this sparkly ring. Oh, here are my new nails, in case you didn't see them before. I put these on Saturday in the car. Yeah, I used some of those little like adhesive tabs. Don't do that. They do not stay on. At least these didn't. The ones that have the like foam work pretty well, but these were just like stickers. They fell right off. Don't do that. Use glue. Let me show you my pants. I'm wearing like navy leggings and some of my favorite tan boots. So cute and so very comfortable. Here's what it looks like kind of all together a little bit. Okay, let me take you over here and show you what we did after math, and then I'll show you what we did for math. So since it's the day after President's Day, I made an Abraham Lincoln strategy game with some graphics from Scrap and Doodles, and then we used these little erasers from Target. I'll show you real quick. They're stars, and they got to play that, and I think I have some at my door, so I'll check back with you in a minute. I'm back. My buddy teacher across the hall has a student teacher, and my buddy teacher is not going to be here for over a week because she had a family thing she had to do. So she had some questions, so she popped over to ask some things. Anyway, so I'm back for a brief moment because it's almost time to get my kids for lunch. But we're starting measurement and Go Math, and I'm kind of excited because I looked through all the lessons over the weekend, and they're actually really easy. I'm really excited so I can like add some stuff to it for fun, like measurement stations they would really love. So like Ray Gun Tunstall's Guided Math Measurement Unit has lots of cute little things to measure, like little sheets to record them on. So like you use counting bears, and you use like linking cubes, and you use those like plastic links that look like paper clips sort of, and you can use color tiles and just all kinds of stuff. So I asked my kids today after the lesson, I said, would you guys like to do maybe some measurement stations? And they're like, yeah, that'd be fun. And I'm like, okay, cool. Excuse me. So we can do rotations on that. And I'm not sure what day I'm going to do that. Probably on Friday, because that would be easier. And I don't do a regular Go Math lesson on Fridays because they're shorter and we have meetings and yada yada. So that'll give me time to get ready too. Or I could do it next week. I don't know. Next week's Dr. Seuss. So I think I won't do it next week because we've got Dr. Seuss things to do. All right. So anyway, today we did this introductory thing, which was learning how to measure with non-standard units. And I just gave every student a tower of cubes, like the linking cubes, and they got to measure the straw and the key on their paper. And then I said, okay, on the count of 3, everybody tell me how many you use. And they told me, and then we wrote down how many we used. And I said, hey, how many do you think Mrs. Bond would need to measure the one on the board? And they're like, the same. And I said, do you think that would fit? And so I put it up there, and they're like, oh. I said, wow, what do we need to do? And they're like, add a lot more. I said, why do we need so many more? And they're like, because your picture's bigger. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So then I had them estimate how many cubes they thought it would take to measure my straw and my key. And they really liked that. So that was fun. I enjoyed that. And then they got to draw lines that would be in between the shortest and the longest line on the page. And to introduce that, I took myself and put myself in front of the class and then picked a shorter student. And I had him stand next to me. And I said, would you say that he is shorter than me? And they're like, yeah. And I said, would you say that I am longer or taller than him? And they're like, yeah. I said, okay, here's what we need to do. We need to find somebody that's in between. Somebody that's taller than him, but shorter than me, that would fit between us. And they're like, okay. So I said, terrific kid, why don't you pick somebody? You can pick yourself or you can pick someone else. And she's like, okay. So she picked a student to go up there. And I said, okay, what do you think? Is she taller than him? And they're like, yeah. And I said, is she shorter than me? Yeah. I said, so she is taller than the shortest one and she is shorter than the longest one. And they're like, yeah. They thought that was super cool. And then they got to draw the lines on their paper. Here's our page so you can see it. Told them they could use a crayon. We don't normally use crayon in our books unless we're coloring something like the counters and stuff. Oh, I need to go get my kids from art, but art is just down the hallway, so it's no big deal. Anyway, we just did a few of those. But the introductory part of this chapter was graphing, which is odd. It was graphing weather, which we've done weather stuff, and we've done a little bit of graphing, so that was kind of fun for them. They got to look at the picture and count like how many rain hats they saw and how many umbrellas they saw, and we graphed it, and I even asked them how many more of these than these and just stuff like that. So doing some more front loading on that graphing. I'm excited about that. So we didn't do a ton in the actual lesson today because I did so much of the introductory stuff in the graphing. My hair is wackadoo because of the rain. Oh wow. And I also wanted them to get back on Prodigy. So since we didn't have school yesterday, I took my Monday group and my Tuesday group, which just happened to have 4 in each group, worked out perfectly with 8 iPads, and I had them combine, and they both got to do Prodigy today, while the other 12, which we only had 11, so I had to group some people up. But anyway, they got to play that presidential problems thing, and they enjoyed that. That was fun for them. So then it was time to go to art. I'm going to go get them, take them to lunch, and I need to get some more work done, so I'll check back with you later. Hi. Sorry, it was just finishing up a piece of pineapple. So I had some pineapple left over from our Valentine party and a piece of chicken left over from Longhorn on Saturday. So that's going to be my lunch today. A lot of times I don't even show you what I have for lunch or tell you because I didn't eat anything. Sometimes I just don't feel like it. You ever get like that? You're hungry, but you're not hungry, and you're just kind of like overwhelmed and feeling very like, frazzled and flustered, and you just don't feel like eating. But then later, I pay for it because, like, I'm starving and feeling kind of, you know? So I thought a little bit of protein would be good and some fruit would be nice. And I have my water, of course. And I have not had any of my iced coffee because it was still way too frozen. But that's okay because then I can have some later, too. Okay, I told you what we did for math, and I told you what we did after math. Oh, for reading groups today, they're all going to get a new book because last week was Slacky Slackerson time. So Mrs. Slackerson is getting back on task here and getting the books going because we're going to be testing soon. And they have been reading books, but they've been rereading stuff. They're like, we're taking this home again. I'm like, yeah, so you should be awesome at it. Anyway, so they will read out of their sight word book. I'll practice for just a couple minutes. And then we'll get a new book and I'll introduce it and they'll do a picture walk and they'll read through it and then we'll read through it together. And that'll probably be the end of that group because there's just not a lot of time. I try to meet with 3 groups every day and I only have 45 minutes. So generally each group gets around 15 minutes-ish. Yeah, and then we were told last night on an email that came in at 10 o'clock that we need to write a mini lesson for Reader's Workshop and film ourselves teaching it and have it ready for Tuesday next week. Well, I don't really do Reader's Workshop. Not really. I do Making Meaning when I get the chance, but honestly, I've done maybe 2 of those this year. Gotta do what you gotta do, right? I just feel like it's another hoop to jump through. This little sprig of hair is just really driving me crazy. Good thing I don't look at myself very much. As you can tell, I probably don't because I don't look that great. Anyway, we will probably have inside recess because it's been drizzly gross, and we're supposed to be drizzly gross, rainy, possibly icy rain the rest of the week. So I guess there's a chance of us not having school sometime. Possibly. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Freezing rain on Thursday. But it's not going to be... Depends on when it comes. If it comes, like, real early morning, we might not have school. But, you know, that's Thursday. That's 2 days. 2 days to change the forecast. Because it's changed several times already. Anyway, but the funny thing is, and I am not really a superstitious person, but this is just too weird. So... I have made the pacing guide for our math. for third quarter. I made it over Christmas and I sent it out. Then we had some snow days when we came back in January. There's a fly in here. See, our weird weather, all the insects are coming back to life again. Go hibernate some more. Blah. Anyway, so then we had snow days. So then I waited a little bit. That fly is a little obnoxious. And then I made a new pacing guide to reflect the days that we lost. Then we had more snow days. So I've made the pacing guide again twice. And after each time, we have had snow days. Not even kidding you. Weird. So I made a new pacing guide over the weekend and sent it. And I said, here you go, friends. If you want another snow day, I did my part. And then we're supposed to get like freezing rain. Possibility for another snow day. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if this holds true. Whatever. Honestly, though, I mean, I love my snow days. Don't get me wrong. We're not making them up, though, which I like that, too. But now I'm starting to go, oh, we're going to run out of days to teach stuff at this point. We've already missed 5 days from snow days, inclement weather days, whatever. And so I'm starting to get a little bit, meh. Although the last couple chapters of Go Math are 2D and 3D shapes. They pretty much know that already, so if it comes down to we don't get it done, it's going to be okay because they'll still be able to do their test because they'll know what they're supposed to know already. We can just teach that part and not worry about all the gobbledygook of Go Math if we have to. Okay, so I'm going to eat my lunch. I'm going to get some books chosen for my kids for reading groups. And yeah, for writing today, we're going to start opinion writing. Officially. Anyways, I'm going to use the YouTube series that I put on a couple vlogs ago. The link to it, well, I'll link it again. This fly's driving me crazy. I'm sorry if you keep seeing my hand flopping around, but it's dive bombing my food and it's annoying. Yeah. Anyway, I will put the link to this awesome YouTube channel that I found where this lady just does nothing but writing lessons. And it's great. They're little short, like 2-minute, 3-minute at tops. Little snippets of things. And you can break it down into 1 or 2 each day or whatever you want to do. So I'm going to have my kiddos watch that today as an introduction to opinion writing. They loved it when I did the how-to writing that way. And they loved it when we did the narrative writing that way. So we'll just continue on with the opinion writing. So they'll like that too. And then I have a book, Stella, what's it called? Stella Writes an Opinion. And they love the other Stella book that I read for the personal narrative. So I think they'll like this too. And that's going to be our writing for today. It's going to be a lesson, basically. And we probably won't get any writing done. We'll just talk about it, and I'll do some examples, and that'll be the end of it. And then we'll go to recess, and then we'll talk about Abraham Lincoln. So that will be our day. So I'll check back with you later and let you know how it goes. Hi, I just took my kids to inside recess. Bummer. We tried to go to outside recess, but nobody was out there, and it's just misting a little bit, so it's been kind of wet and gross on the playground, so they're just doing it in the gym today. So, bummer. My kids were like, nobody's out there. And I said, oh, recess is hiding. We must go find it. And they're like, hey, you're so silly. I'm like, yeah, I know, especially today. As the day wears on, if you notice, my hair just goes flatter and flatter. And I seem to have less and less makeup on. But this is life. I can deal with it. It's okay. I don't have a lot of time, but I thought that I would jump in and let you know that the kids really, 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 really enjoy seeing those little mini lessons from that website that I found, from the YouTube channel that I found. So I will definitely link it below because you might want to use it too. It's short little bursts of information, which is perfect. Then you can like pause it and talk about it, and you could go to the next one, or you can just do something different. So what I did was I showed opinion writing 1 and 2. So it was like, what is an opinion? And then number 2 was how to choose a topic. And then the next one is at the end of 2, the lady that was on there said, I'm going to write about my favorite book. So tune in to the next one to see what my favorite book is. And the kids were all like, oh. I said, I'm going to keep you in suspense a little longer because we're going to watch that tomorrow. And they're like, oh, and I said, that's okay because Stella wants to tell us about an opinion too. So I think I've mentioned this before. I've got the Stella writing series. And you can get them, I think you can get them on Amazon. That's where I got mine. But sometimes things are out of stock. So this is the one, Stella Writes an Opinion. I just started reading it. And in the book, Stella has so many things she has an opinion about. She can't figure out what to write about. So she's going to write some things that she loves, some things that she not so loves, and some things that bug her. It kind of gave me an inspiration, and I think I'm going to make some hearts for the kids. I'm going to have them write down some things they love or things they're really passionate about, and that'll give them some things to think about when they do their opinion writing. Now, one of the things I want them to do is that project with the donut, and if you watch Kayla Marie, which I think she changed the name of her channel, because I think the last time I went to watch a video, it was called something else. I can't remember what it is now, but she was Kayla Marie, and if I can figure out what she's called now, I'll try to put something like right here across the screen, because by then I'll probably figure it out, because I can look on my subscription list. Anyway, she did this really cool opinion writing donut thing where they get to design a donut, and they get to tell why their donut is the best and why they should win the contest. So I think that would be a really, really cool final project for us. So I already told the kids we were going to do that. Actually, maybe that'll be our introductory lesson and then have them write about whatever they want for their final project. That might be better. Whatever it is, I need to get it done in the next 3 weeks because that's when report cards are going to happen. Oh my gosh, it's coming up fast. So it just seems like you get back from Christmas and it's like, and it's like the end and you're in the last moments of school. It's crazy how fast it goes and how much you have to cram in and how strapped for time you feel at this point. Yeah. So anyway, my little guy that has been having some trouble with getting work done got everything finished except one thing. And that thing took a little longer, and that's okay. I'm okay with that one. But I've just been kind of talking to him today going, you did so great today. This has been a really good day, hasn't it? And he's like, yeah. And I said, let's do this tomorrow too, man. This was great. You got things done. I didn't have to come pester you about it. Like you were on top of things. I'm so proud of you. And he's just like, so he's not a very demonstrative boy. He's pretty mellow and low key about stuff. So he doesn't make big reactions. Like some of my kids are like, ooh, very dramatic about, you know, I'm super happy. I'm super not happy. But he's just kind of a mellow guy. But I think that really meant a lot to him. So I'm going to keep that up. I always try to catch him being good. But there are just days where you're like, oh man, I was just about to say something nice and then you kind of blew it. That makes me so sad when that happens. Because I'm like, oh, if you just hadn't done that right then, maybe I could have prevented it. Because I was just about to say, hey, you're doing that now. Oh my goodness. Yeah, everybody has days like that, don't we? Whew. So, my kids will be at recess for another, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. Yeah, about. And we're going to talk about President Lincoln. I have a Scholastic News for that. I'll put you down right here. And if I can find it real quick, I'll show you. It should be right here. In Abe Lincoln's time, my back counter is the worst disaster area. It's like, don't come in my room because it's so embarrassing. So these are in the printables section of the website when you go on Scholastic News. Like the classroom. You go on scholastic.com, then you go on Classroom Magazines, and then you go on the episode. Now, how about the issue? I'm having issues. You go on the issue that you're going to be using, and then you can click on the video, you can click on the printables, and there's some other stuff on there too. So there's some more resources. So I like to do the reading checkpoint, and this is all about the main idea, which is not a 3rd quarter skill for us, but is a 4th quarter skill, and this is hard for 1st graders. So the earlier you can start on it, the better. So we're going to start talking about that a lot more. And then this is a prediction page. So you just read these to the class and they can mark yes or no. So we do a before reading and we'll do an after reading, which will be cool. We'll do that. So we'll do this and then we'll do the little video. And then my little readers, they always miss out on so much stuff because they have to go to reading in the middle of everything. But honestly, if they're going to miss out on something, I'd rather it be the tail end of social studies than like math or writing or something because they can't really make that up. Oh, and these have several issues inside them. So I need to separate them. This is the one we're going to do tomorrow, only in America, and it's about national symbols, which is another one of our report card tests. I'm going to knock that one out. Yay. One of our 1st grade standards is to learn about famous non-Missourians. So Abraham Lincoln is one of those. We've learned about Johnny Appleseed. We are still working on Rosa Parks. Haven't finished her yet. And we've talked about Martin Luther King. I also want to throw Ruby Bridges in there too. I feel like I'm running out of time though. We're also going to learn about Dr. Seuss next week because it'll be Dr. Seuss week. That is so crazy that it's already going to be March next week. And then since the kids are doing a Walt Disney music program in first grade, I have bought a book about Disney. So we're going to learn about him too because he's a non-Missourian. He's a Californian. So that'll hit a lot of those standards there. Oh, I seriously need to come in sometime and just do nothing but pitch stuff, recycle stuff, give stuff away, and reorganize my life. Because there is not enough time ever in a week to do all that at school. Like, there's no time during the school week to do any of that stuff. Normally I do a week of dental health. I do like the first week of February is groundhog stuff. Then I do a week of Valentine's stuff. I do President's Day stuff, and I do teeth stuff. But it just seemed like the way the weeks hit, it didn't work out or something. Because like next week, I would have done teeth stuff, but it's going to be Dr. Seuss because Dr. Seuss Read Across America Day is technically Friday the 2nd because that's Dr. Seuss's birthday. But we're doing it on Thursday, so it's even shorter for me. So I'm just like, okay, I'm going to have to do Dr. Seuss next week, and I don't know about teeth. Maybe I can do that the following week. I don't know. I'm trying to squeeze it all in, and it's about time to get my kiddos. I think I have just enough time to separate these magazines out for tomorrow. Oh my goodness. And I have late buses today for another 2 weeks, which it's not bad. It really isn't, because once you get, if you can get a video going on your iPad, then you've got your computer that you can actually do stuff on. Like I can print stuff out or whatever in case I don't have stuff ready. Alrighty, I'm going to go get my kids. We're going to come back and learn about Abraham Lincoln, good old Abe, and we're going to pack and get ready to leave. And then I'll get my other group of kids and we'll find something to watch on YouTube or something. I haven't even thought that far ahead. And then it'll be time for me to go home and crash. Alright, so I probably won't see you later. So I'm going to say goodbye for now until tomorrow, unless I can jump on later, but I don't think so. So I hope that you've had a great week so far and that things are going well, and I will talk to you in the morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. Woo! We can do this. So we had a really nasty ice storm last night, and I guess there were some accidents, but it's pretty much melted off now. So we're at school. I was kind of hoping, not so secretly, that we would be gone today. A lot of other teachers were too. Even though we had Monday off for President's Day and only worked one day, we're just all like exhausted still. Ugh. But there's a lot to do. I mean, we need to be here. So, you know, we are going to start our opinion writing today. I'm going to start with that donut, design a donut thing, and I'll show you the different components of it as we do it. It looks really fun. It's geared to a little bit older child, an older student, but I think we can make it work for us too because it's the same process. I just need to make sure that I'm teaching the right components of it because our rubric, you know, says you have to have so many examples of why it should be this way. So this, basically they're designing a donut and they're trying to win a contest for their donut to be chosen to be featured in a donut shop. That's the premise of it. And so they get to design their donut, which is really fun. And of course we'll have to have donuts to eat for that. Yeah. So we'll do that later on, but in the final project. And then they write about it. They have a planning page they can do, and I just printed stuff out. And they have a donut designing page that they can use. And then they have a final donut design page, like that's bigger, and then a writing page where they can write it all out after they've gotten their planning page done and kind of checked and edited with me. So it'll take a couple weeks to get this done. And then I thought I would let them go ahead and do, that hurts my knock, let them go ahead and pick what they want to write for the next one. Okay, let me show you what I'm wearing, and then I'm going to get to work. So I'm wearing this flannel, soft, comfy shirt with a black long sleeve lacy tee, some black leggings, and some tall over-the-knee boots. I've got these earrings on that I've worn before from Cato, and my chameleon ring. I'll back up so you can see what I'm wearing. Okay, the knock that I heard at my door were students, and they shouldn't be here because I don't have morning duty, so I don't know what they're doing. But I've talked to my students about, please don't bang on our door because Mrs. Bond doesn't have morning room, so you shouldn't be banging on our door because this is not one of your choices to come in yet. So, yeah, they just get a little silly. Anyway, I don't know if you could really see what I was wearing because it's kind of back there, but it's just this nice flannel shirt that I've worn once before, and then leggings and these tall boots because it's cold. We're gonna have like a high of 34 today, so I'm hoping it'll be inside recess all day because it's cold out there. And a lot of these students honestly do not bring appropriate cold weather clothing. They don't. Their parents let them go off in a hoodie, and I'm like, that might be okay on the bus because the bus gets warm, but it's not okay when you go to recess and it's 30 some degrees. Not cool. Yeah. I'm going to go get the copies off the copier, and then I'll come back and show you what the pages look like, and then I'm going to do some more stuff to get ready for the kids to come in about just a couple minutes. So I'll see you then. Hi, it's a little before 11. My kids are at music, and excuse me, I am eating some breakfast finally because I was fading fast. So there was some scrambled eggs in the kitchen and a little piece of toast, so I thought that would be good as a pick-me-up because I haven't had anything to eat today. And I was trying to figure out what I'm going to do for my mini lesson that I'm supposed to teach and film and be ready for Tuesday. I'm going to be doing all Dr. Seuss things next week, so it needs to tie into something I'm already doing. I don't have time for an extra thing. So I think I'm going to do a character changing lesson with green eggs and ham because the character Sam I Am makes a complete 180 in how he feels about green eggs and ham. So I think that'd be a really black and white, easy way to show them how a character can change through a story. So I think we'll do that. That's not necessarily a first grade standard per se, but they are supposed to be able to talk about characters and be able to compare the characters. So that's kind of an intro to that, I think, kind of seeing what the character does through the story. Compare and contrast experiences of characters in a story is the official thing. So I figure if they can pull out how the character feels and things like that, that would help. So I think I'll do that for my mini lesson on Monday. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to do it this week because it's Wednesday. I don't have time to pull that out of my hat for tomorrow. There's no way. I found the coolest thing on TpT, and I was going to show you. I introduced it today with the kiddos. Let me get it up on my computer. It's called Spin, Spell, and Move, and it is made by Polka Dots, Please. And I'll link it below for sure. But, okay, let me just get the slideshow going here. Okay, here it is. That's the introductory screen. I showed this to my kids and I explained how it works. And then these are the different movements that the wheel has on it, and when you spin, it'll point to one of these things. And then I already put our words in. These are the first 5 are the spelling words. The next few are transfer words. So if they can spell don't, they should be able to spell won't. If they can spell about, they should be able to spell shout. I put in one of our chunks that we're talking about in our phonics, am. And then I've got grow that goes with no and might that goes with right, so they can practice doing some more transfer words. You click the spin button here, the green one. It spins the wheel, then you push stop in the pink one. And also it says toe touch. So whatever word you're on, they would touch their toes once for each letter. Pretty cool. And I showed them physically how you would do it. So there's a kick where you just go like G-O-N''T. Jumping jack, of course you do. Jumping jacks. Stomp, you just stomp your foot. Kind of like a horse counting on Mr. Ed. And then you just click go again and it resets it. And you can just keep going and going and going until you're just kind of tired of doing it. So I told them that we would do this tomorrow instead of our spelling practice page. We would do this instead. So they're very excited, other than a couple of students that had to step outside and compose themselves, so they missed the explanation, but they'll get it figured out when we do it tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. Also, with that, there is a paper that I printed, and I don't know where it went. Like, I printed it and it wasn't on the copier. So this is the page that I printed. And they have different amounts of lines. There are different papers. So like one has 8 and one has more than 10. I think it has like 15. Let me look real quick so I can tell you. Oh, there's a page that has 6, page that has 8, 10, which is what I'll use. And then, oh, that's the biggest one, 10. And they just, after they do their movement thing, then they write their word. And we'll probably do that on Friday. Right before, that'll be our review for our spelling test on Friday. Because tomorrow I want them to just do the movements and not have to do the movements and write it down. But on Friday I can have them grab a clipboard and they can do their movements and then grab their clipboard and write it down. So that is going to be really fun. I'm just going to print this again because I don't know if it got mixed up in someone else's stuff. I really don't know. I'm sure that I printed it though. You ever do that? You print something and you go to find it and it's just not there. Happens to me a lot. So I don't know. I had it on the correct copier and I sent it over there. And it doesn't say, we get a little printer icon at the bottom of our screen and it shows that it's copying. And if there's a little red thing, that means there's like a paper jam or it's out of paper or out of toner or something weird. None of that happened. So it printed and disappeared into the universe. So I don't know where it is. I'm pretty sure someone else probably printed something and it got stuck with theirs. And they'll put it back on the little bench out there later. And I'll probably find it. Because I'll use this again. The great thing is you can use it over and over and over and over and over. You just change the words every time. Pretty cool. Alright, so I'm going to eat a little more of my eggs, drink some water, my iced coffee, and get some energy so I can perk back up. I did not sleep well last night because of the ice storm. Went to bed kind of late, woke up in the night, went to sleep. I forgot to set my alarm for a little bit later today because I didn't need to get up quite as early because my daughter didn't have to be at a practice or anything. And so the alarm went off earlier than it needed to, and I shut it off and tried to go back to sleep, and that didn't work. So it was very disjointed. So I'm very kind of droopy today. Although I've been very energetic with the class. Just when they're not here and I'm not trying to entertain them, teach them, to get them to pay attention, then I'm like, oh. So I'm trying to keep myself just going so I don't completely crash. Yeah. This afternoon, I told you we're going to do that donut thing. First, we're going to finish reading Stella Writes an Opinion, which is a book I showed yesterday. And we only read maybe 4 pages of that because the couple videos that I showed and when we talked about it took up most of our writing time because we only have about 30 minutes of writing time. But really for first grade, and especially this very energetic class, that's probably about enough time because they can't settle down for very long. Anyway, this is the page that I showed you earlier and wasn't talking because my kids were coming in. This is their planning page. So I'm going to have them create their donut today. And I have some of those donut squishies that I thought I'd show them for inspiration. Plus there is a page in the TpT unit that has like, I don't know, 8 or 10 different kinds of donuts to give them ideas, like for sprinkles and colors and frostings and stuff like that, icings. So that will give them some inspiration. And then I'm going to let them draw it today after we read the Stella Writes an Opinion. I'm not even going to have them write anything today. They're just going to create their donut. So, and then tomorrow they'll get to write. They'll start writing. And we'll go through how you write it. Because it starts with, you have to have an intro. So you're saying, do you like donuts? I really like donuts. This is the best kind of donut you could ever eat because, or whatever. And then if we still have time, if we get this accomplished anytime soon, like within the week or so, like by the end of next week, I will probably have them choose something that they want to write about, whatever. This is like a practice kind of, so they can kind of get in the groove of how to do it, and then they'll do one on their own, and that'll be the one that I use for their grade card or their report card. Yeah. So I'm going to get to work, and I'll probably check back with you later, but I still have late buses, so I probably won't have a lot to tell you later, but I'll let you know how things go. Hi, my kids are at recess for just a little bit upstairs in the gym, and I've been trying to print stuff since lunch, and it's not working. So I've restarted my computer, so I'm hoping it works because I can't get anything else printed. I was able to print the stuff for the donut thing yesterday, got that done, but I don't know what's going on for today. It's just not, it's not connecting. My kids are super, super excited to design their donut. So we didn't get a chance to do it before recess, but I'm going to let them work on it for about 15 minutes after recess. and they should be able to come up with something really cool, because I told them they could think about it while they're at recess, while they're running around doing things. They can let it float around in their heads. They thought that was really funny. So, you know, whatever it takes. So I think they're really going to like this assignment. And we read the rest of Stella Writes an Opinion, and it was really good. I highly recommend the Stella writing books. I really, really do. And like I said, I think they're on Amazon. That's where I got them. But I bought them a couple years ago, so I'll have to check and see if it's still there. If it is, I'll link it below. If it's not, I'm not sure where else you might find it. Maybe eBay, maybe at a bookstore, maybe barnesandnoble.com, something like that. So it's really cool. And now I have like nothing up on my computer because everything closed out. So I got to find everything. But to find my email, I need to find that donut thing. I told the kids that I would show them a picture that came with the donut writing thing so that they could get some ideas. And I'll show you what it looks like, because I had it up, of course, and now it's not. So I'll show you real quick. Okay, here it is. This is what it looks like. Donut Persuasive Writing. Okay, so this is by the Knitted Apple. And there's the page. I will show them this on the board so they can get some ideas if they wanted to use them. And they could be inspired, so they're very excited to do that. I'm going to go and try to get my copies made real quick and try to figure out my math stations for tomorrow. We're doing measurement stations because in the teacher's guide over here, it's got different things for them to measure. You see that? There's a crayon, a stapler, a paintbrush, and scissors. Well, I'd rather them work in partners and not groups because it'll go better and faster. So I've already got these things ready. I'm just using my little heart buckets from Valentine's Day. And instead of staplers, because I do not have 10 staplers. No, who does? I'm going to substitute glue sticks. So I'm going to have them cross out the stapler and put glue sticks. And they're all the same size. I have a pack of crayons, so they can all have a brand new crayon to measure. I have 10 paintbrushes because I have paintbrushes. But I don't have 10 pairs of scissors, so I may need to have them get some of their scissors out. I have color tiles. In my latch box right there. And I have bagged up 10 color tiles because none of the things that we're going to measure should be any longer than 10. So each student has a baggie that they can use to measure with. That'll be fun for them. I always do measurement stations, but they already had it set up that way, so yay. There's also an on your own page where you're supposed to measure a paint tray, a glue bottle, a book, and a pencil. So, see that there? We'll see. I don't know about that. Okay, let me get all my stuff thrown back in my buckets here so I can get them ready. I'll probably put this together during late bus time because I don't want to take the time right now, honestly. So I've got other things, other fish to fry, so to speak. Get all these things together. Alright, I think that should be good. Okay, at least I've got my materials figured out. And I could honestly probably do that while the kids are designing their donuts. I'm not even sure why I'm wearing those. Because I was reading. And I can't read very well without them. Alrighty, so I'm going to have to go upstairs and get my kids pretty soon. But I have a few minutes where I can just kind of relax. And we talked about hangriness today. Being hangry. That was something that Stella talked about. She didn't use the word hangry, but her opinion in the opinion writing that she did in the Stella Writes an Opinion was that second graders should be able to bring a morning snack. Because I guess in her school, it stops in first grade, which it does here too. I think, I need to get my kids from recess. So in kindergarten and first grade, they get a snack, and then in second grade, they don't get a snack. So she was kind of like spurring on the idea. The second graders needed a snack too because they get hungry. That she had all these great reasons. Well, it ends up she goes to the teacher loves what she wrote, helps her edit for spelling and errors and things, takes it to the principal loves it, and they institute a second grade snack again. So she helped the whole second grade class. Yay. So she said, opinions really matter. I'm like, yes, they do. All right, I'm going to get my kiddos and finish off the day with them, and then I'll have late buses, and it'll be time to go. And we may be going to the super center, so I might take you along with me. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So I'll say bye for now, and I'll chat with you later.